Hello everyone, my name is Mariam Mokhtar. Violence and bullying have been normalized in Malaysia. Victims are not aware they are victims, and instead they want to protect the perpetrators of violence, those in positions of authority who have the power to instigate change fail to show real leadership. The story about two teenage girls who were slapped in public by their coach is a symptom of the terrible degradation in our society. And the story goes much deeper than two young girls being slapped, or of a coach who admitted being overcome by emotion. Nevertheless, we are shocked by the reaction of the parents, who are probably suffering from Stockholm syndrome. The incident is also a terrible reflection of the erosion of moral values in our Malaysian society. It is the failure of our education system. It is a failure of the parents to show responsibility when their own children have been abused by strangers. It is the failure of the coach to abide by the strict conduct and rules of his profession. It is a failure of past Malaysian ministries to deal sternly with violence. Previous acts of violence were tolerated or dismissed, and this has only encouraged further acts of violence. This story is also about a failure of the State Youth Development, Sports and NGO Executive Councillor VP Shanmugam to show real leadership. After a public furore, the coach apologized to the two girls and their parents. But think about this. Would he have done so if the video of him freely slapping the two girls had not become viral? VP Shanmugam took an easy exit out of a very embarrassing and potentially explosive situation. As the coach had apologized to the girls' parents, Shanmugam then said, "The incident was resolved on the spot on the same day." Shanmugam is wrong to think that the whole matter is resolved. If he were to dig deeper into the history of child abuse in Malaysia, the volleyball coach's actions are just the tip of the iceberg. In simple terms, the slapping incident is the failure of our society to protect our young children. Past abuses by coaches and teachers have mostly been swept under the carpet because our authorities are fearful of the repercussions. What are they afraid of? We need to send a message throughout the community and tell them to aim for a zero tolerance towards physical violence. No one, not even a coach, teacher, or headmaster, has the right to slap anyone else, let alone two young girls, in public. Let's look at one father's reaction, the reaction of the father of one of the girls who were slapped. Now, one father defended the coach's behavior. Is he insane? He said that the slapping incident should not have become an issue. He urged the public to stop criticizing the coach. He refused to get the police involved, and he said that if he had been so inclined, he would have lodged a police report on the 16th of December, on the day his daughter was slapped. The father seemed to show more concern about the coach's predicament because he, that means the coach, had sacrificed his time, money and energy to develop the sport in Malacca. The father was full of praise for the coach who gave his daughter the chance to represent the state. He also said that his daughter did not want to press charges. How would a 14-year-old girl know about pressing charges? Yeah, the father should decide. Anyway, this father's most deplorable comment was to say, the slap was normal and was not meant to hurt the girls. I do not see what the big deal is. There are no signs of injury on my daughter's face. For me, this is nothing. Slapping is normal. Does this father not realize that violence was used on his daughter and assault cannot be masked in any other way? The coach's excuse that he was overcome by emotion cannot be used to justify his violence. Slapping is not an accepted motivational tactic. The coach is a coward and a bully, and the father is wrong to condone the coach's violence. The coach overstepped his boundaries, and he must face the full force of the law. The young girl is a minor, and the criminal offence perpetrated by the coach comes under Section 323 of the Penal Code. If the coach is found guilty, he will be fined 2,000 ringgits and face a jail term of up to 1 year or both. Physical scars are visible, but not mental scars. Would this father only be very upset if his daughter's jaw was dislocated, or if there was bleeding? His daughter was humiliated in public. Her self-confidence will be affected. What if she, later on in life, equates violence as an accepted motivational tactic and uses violence to motivate her own children? A police report need not be necessary. The sports body, which regulates the conduct of coaches and governs this particular sport, would have been primed to act. So if no action is taken, then they are indeed condoning violence. So now we look at the coaches, the reaction of the coach. What man hits out at young girls just because they dropped a ball or played badly? As a coach, he should understand that it is the participation in sports and sportsmanship that is more important. He is a coward and he is a bully. He is supposed to set a good example, but he failed. Would he have apologized if his violence had not been caught on camera? A good coach does not need his hands, his fists or legs to lash out at his players. This coach lacks discipline and deserves to be sacked. If the coach is violent in public, does that also translate to violence in the home? And now we look at the reaction of the sports ex-co, Shanmugam. Shanmugam's attitude has been disappointing. To claim that the matter is resolved because the coach apologized to the parents is particularly short-sighted. Is Shanmugam forgetful? Malaysians mudah lupa. Complaints by athletes and students about the lewd remarks and sexual advances of their coaches and teachers have been dismissed. Pandalela Rinong, the Olympic gold medalist for diving, she reported about it. The University Malaya student called Ching, she reported about her lecturer making sexual advances. The secondary school student Ain Husniza Saiful Nizam, who said that her teacher made jokes about rape. Now, what became of all these so-called investigations? These victims suffer in silence and their perpetrators they escape scot-free. This slapping incident has shown how we, as a society, have let ourselves down and failed our children. The authorities must come down hard on coaches and teachers who have done wrong. Thank you for listening. Speak to you soon. Kalau anda suka video saya, sila tekan like dan subscribe pada channel YouTube saya. Pertimbangkan menyertai laman Patreon saya. Terima kasih.